What is up, guys? Welcome back to another follow-up video, and today I'm bringing you episode 25, I believe, of our top 5 mod series, and today is going to be PS4 mods, guys, so do not worry about that. I know a lot of you guys were not completely happy about that I had to make 2 PC videos in a row, but unfortunately I ran out of PS4 Live, and there was an issue going on with me like keeping it, so I didn't want to buy it and then not being able to actually keep it. So now that I have it again, expect weekly PS4 mod videos, and if you guys do go on to enjoy this video, make sure you guys like and subscribe, and let's get right into the video.
I with my 2 fists divine, but I'm going nowhere. Oh yeah, I'm the type of guy that likes to roam around.
Never pay full price for games again, guys. Use the link in the description to get up to 90% off of all G2A games. Okay, guys, so the first mod we have is 5 custom weapons by Delirious Sanity 101, and what this mod does is it adds in 5 custom new weapons into your game, and those are going to be the Cryo Deliverer, the custom flamethrower, the extreme shotgun, 1 gauze rifle that is great for killing undetected, Liberty Prime bomb launching cannon, and ammo for all those weapons. Now this can be found up in Vault 111 by going over to the little command place where you can actually go into the vault, and you'll see a little safe underneath that, and there will be all the weapons and ammo. You're going to be getting 65,000 rounds of each type of ammo, which I guess is a little OP in my opinion, but most mods like nowadays do that, so there's not going to be really getting away with that if you do have any custom mods. The first one we're going to be looking at is the Bloody Mess, which is going to be a normal assault rifle, but dealing 20 damage in fire rate, 280 range, 40 accuracy, and it's worth a ton of bottle caps. Does 170 damage per shot, and all these weapons are going to be completely upgradable. The second weapon we're going to be looking at is D's gun. This is going to be a sort of flamethrower type gun. It's going to be doing 150 damage, 382 fire damage, and 3 electrical damage. Has a fire rate of 90, a range of 47, and like the last weapon, it is worth a ton of bottle caps for some reason. But the next weapon we are going to be taking a look at is going to be down my list a little bit, and it is called Liberty. Now, it is going to be a sort of like a little cannonball launcher type weapon, but it's just going to be reskinned. Has a damage of 662, fire rate of 2, range of 203, accuracy of 63, and a ton of value worth in bottle caps. Now, just like all the other weapons, these are going to be completely upgradable at a modification workbench. And the next weapon we're going to be looking at is the scoped rifle, which is basically the gauze rifle except reskinned with some damage tweaks that does 270 damage, 669 electrical damage, has a fire rate of 66, a range of 191, and a ton of bottle cap worthage again. Next weapon is the Suppressed Cryo Weather PP pistol, does 11 damage, 57 health, fire rate of 66, range of 53, and like the last one has a lot of value in bottle caps. So the first weapon we're going to be taking a look at and demoing is the PP pistol, and I'm going to be showing the range of all the weapons. Now keep in mind I am level like 190 on this modded account, so some of the enemies are going to be taking different shots than others, but whenever you actually do get close range with this pistol, it's actually very good. It has a cryo effect on the enemies sometimes, which is going to be freezing, which is pretty cool. Medium range sometimes has a chance of a permanent hit, but sometimes it does take a lot of rounds. Like as you can see right here, it took me like 5 or 6 shots to actually take down the enemy. Still though, a really good pistol. You're not going to be using it at that range very too often, and it can kill enemies really quickly, and I definitely recommend using this one above all of them. The next weapon we're going to be taking a look at is the Ghost Scoped Rifle, which is going to be the reskin version of the gauze rifle. Now this weapon is actually pretty cool. It has functions the same as a normal gauze rifle, as like you have to hold down the trigger to get more damage, and if you just press it over and over again quickly, it's not going to be doing as much damage. It still works the same as that. It could be a really useful actual sniper rifle in my opinion, because if you hold it down you can get some really good damage. As you can see right here, at pretty long range I'm getting pretty frequent one-shot kills. Up close, however, can be just like the normal gauze rifle and be kind of difficult to land frequent shots in close range if you're not aiming down your sights, which on this weapon you do have a pretty zoomed in scope, which is going to be hard to land shots at close range too. So I recommend staying at medium to long range with this weapon, but it's still pretty good for a model weapon. It's not like some model weapons and they're just super OP. But the next weapon we're going to be looking at is a Liberty. Now, this is the one that's kind of like OP, and I guess it's like fun to mess around with if you're like not actually trying to play the game. But if you're just trying to do the campaign or something with a modded playthrough, I would not recommend using this gun because it just shoots mini nukes, as you can see, and basically is the most OP gun in the game if you don't count mods. I would compare it to the Fat Man sort of, except this has a lot faster fire rate than a Fat Man, so you can get a lot more shots downrange. Still, regarding that, it can still be a very fun weapon to use if you're just messing around and beating the game is just trying to do some weird things in modded playthroughs. I find it very fun just to go around shooting a lot of people very, very quickly or try to take down Diamond City all by yourself, but it is what it is. Still a fun weapon, even though it is pretty OP. The next weapon we're going to be taking a look at is the little flamethrower that is called D's gun, and I don't really like the way this flamethrower looks too much, but it is a pretty, basically a beefed up flamethrower. It's basically just a normal flamethrower that has a lot more better range that can shoot super, super far. Only thing is that, like, it just looks so dumb because the guy did not do a very good job at reskinning the weapon. He basically just made it all one color, which does make it look kind of dumb. But unfortunately, that's just, I guess, what you get with the mod. So even though it is still a pretty cool weapon, it's not going to be looking very good in your playthrough. It is a very good gun, just as long as you can get past the benign looks on the weapon. Now, the next weapon, if you use it like me, did give you a pretty big surprise, as you can see what happened on screen right there. This weapon I would not use at close range just because of what it shoots. It basically shoots 5 grenades that go off as you as they hit the ground. So basically it's just a grenade launcher that is like 5 times better, and it can launch enemies' bodies super, super far in the air. Another, again, it's kind of like one of those super OP guns, but I mean, if you're just messing around in the game, they can be pretty fun to use to go around and kill a lot of enemies super quickly, I guess. As you can see, I'm having a lot of fun with it. Just because it's OP doesn't mean it can't be fun. I just wouldn't recommend it for using it in playthroughs or anything like that. As you can see, the range on this weapon isn't very great, but that's not really that big of a deal. This mod does not require any DLC or anything like that. It's going to be pretty much compatible with every mod you're going to be using. So overall, pretty fun mod. Another good one for the weapon category. The next mod we're going to be taking a look at is the Craft Max and Battle Coat for the PS4, and that's going to be by the real Eleonora. Basically, this mod adds in a new standalone version for Elder Max's Battle Coat armor to the game, so you won't have to kill him to get it now. So basically, you can still side with the Brotherhood of Steel while having his really cool Battle Coat, which I've never actually got to use before because I sided with the Brotherhood of Steel. Now, to get this coat, you can actually just go and craft it at a chemistry station that is added into the category called clothing. And you go ahead and put it on from there. This coat does not do the best damage and things just because it's still from the stock game and doesn't give you super OP stats or anything. I just thought this mod was pretty cool just because I've never actually got to use his coat before, and it is completely upgradable at a armor workbench station, so you can upgrade it to give it ballistic fibers and all that type of stuff, which is going to be super helpful. And I wish I had this in my standard playthrough without any mods, but in this modded playthrough I'm doing, it actually is pretty cool, which I've never gotten to experience before, and doesn't require any DLC or anything like that, and is going to be compatible with pretty much every mod you're going to be using. So overall, it's a pretty good mod. The next mod we're going to be talking about is a Sanctuary Rebuild mod by Jonathan.277, and this mod just basically cleans up Sanctuary and puts working street lamps into the road on the side of it. Now, I know I've reviewed some Sanctuary rebuilding mods in the past, but I think this one's pretty much better than all of them. Not only does it basically just revamp Sanctuary, but it also fixes the bridge outside of it. Now, I wasn't expecting this, but it is a really good touch to the game. Also, it doesn't try to refix the houses all that much. It kind of just cleans it up more, because I didn't like how it would make the houses not broken or anything. I like that look to Fallout and make it more apocalyptic, more broken and stuff like that. I think it looked better, but with the normal houses it just looked weird. But this one actually keeps that in, but it does fix the sidewalk, which I do like. I hate having the broken sidewalk with all the grass coming through it. I think that's kind of annoying that you can't fix that in the base game. And it actually adds street lamps in so you don't have to, which is going to be looking a lot nicer and more symmetrical than you normally would have them. It looks pretty nice. The only downside is that if you already have things built there, it is going to be interfering with them a little bit. Like if you've removed houses in the past, if you've planted over them on the foundation, it's going to be messing up your place right here. As you can see, my little market I made is pretty messed up right now just because there was a house rebuilt over it, so it's kind of stuck inside. So if you do already have things built there, I would recommend either removing them or just don't use this mod, or just find one that fixes the roads and stuff like that. But as you can see, also I already had street lamps going through the thing, so it kind of interferes with them, but those are super easy to remove and the new ones look a lot better. I just like this mod because it really cleans up your settlement, which would happen in real life without actually making your building super unrealistic and still futuristic. This mod isn't going to be requiring any DLC or anything like that, and it's going to be compatible with every mod I've used so far with it, so I wouldn't count on it not working with any other mods. And overall, it's a pretty cool mod to add into your game. The next mod I'm showcasing is the Remote Cabin mod by Dunwich Builders, and what this mod does, it basically adds in a remote cabin as a player home in a settlement just north of Vault 111. Straight after you exit the vault, you can turn around and walk north, and it is foundable. It's not really hard to find, but it's not going to be located on your Pip-Boy, so just walk past it. It's super easy to find. But what this does is it adds in a experimental booze workbench, an experimental ice-cold workbench, an experimental blueprint system, and a customized workbench items, which is a whole bunch of random things he's added into the game. They're sort of like the Nuka-Cola workbenches, except they add in beer and wine and things like that. I think it's kind of a cool idea, but there is more useful things he could have used, but they still do look pretty cool. I actually thought these right here were going to be the experimental boost stations or something like that, but they're not going to be located on these outside buildings. They're going to be located in the main player home back in the other direction. They have to have a secret kind of way to get into. But this barn up here is actually still pretty filled with loot. It has a workshop trunk that has a whole bunch of rounds and weapons and stuff like that. There's a whole bunch of other stasis like that, some scrap, nuclear material, weapon workbenches, power armor workbenches, a whole bunch of things like that. So it's not going to be a useless settlement. They actually do give you a lot of things to start out with. Now, when you try to go in the player home by itself, there's like the door is chained and there's no really way to get into it. So basically what I had to do is I tried to sleep, which that didn't work. Sometimes it puts you in your bed, but actually if you go over to the other side of the place, there is going to be a couch, which if you look in through the window, you kind of have to jump and then press square to get into it, and then you will actually sit down inside the couch and kind of glitch yourself in. I'm not sure if that's the only way in, but that's the only way I found that you can get in. But once you're in here, you can kind of undo the chain door, so you can just walk in normally. But this place is actually full of everything. There's like an actual like custom desk with a whole bunch of things on it, a pie machine to get the perfectly preserved pie, 2 couches, a bed, a chair, whole bunch of things in here, and it's all stocked full of scrap and useful scrappable things. You also get a terminal which tells you about all the spawnable items with the armor workbenches and the booze workbenches and how those things work. There is a armor workbench here, and then your normal workshop workbench is going to be there as well. Overall, it's a pretty cool mod. I may plan on doing a future settlement build here in the future whenever I decide to do another time-lapse video of a base build. But super cool mod. It does give you a lot of space to do your settlement needs. Doesn't require any DLC or anything like that, and it's going to be pretty much compatible with every mod I've used with it. So overall, a pretty good mod. The final mod I do have to show you guys is the Red Lightning Gun for the PS4, and this is by Invoker Gray as well. Basically adds in a red lightning gun, reskinned lightning gun with a legendary attachment. The ammo capacity is moved up to 20, weight is moved to 7, and it has craftable attachments for it. It can be found at Quag Smoke or Watts Electronics. Quag Smoke we can't really get in PS4, so we're going to have to go into Watts Electronics, which is located in the back of it, and is going to be found past a little secret room with the terminal that has to be opened through that. Gives you all the actual mods you can put onto it, so you don't have to make them yourselves at a workbench, which is kind of nice. But when I went to test this weapon out, it's actually pretty good. It actually basically it's kind of as a Tesla arc type thing, which whenever you shoot an enemy, goes through him and bounces onto other enemies, and at the end of the lightning, at the receiving end of it, basically kills the guy one shot, and then it's going to be damaging all the people throughout that, which is kind of a cool gun. Not like super great at range, but is super good at like close to medium range. It is not going to be requiring any DLC or anything like that, so that's pretty much all I have for you today, guys. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you guys do go on to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.